Hi, hi. Welcome, and welcome to another moment where I invite you and myself to come together and talk about the meaning of life and in and of itself. The topic today is coming to points of growth. What is accepting? So, in a sense, acceptance. Overall, I hope you enjoy. And let's get to it, shall we? Oh, and thank you very much for you being you. Yes, and aloha if you don't make it till the end. Which is okay. Live life, prosper. So in and of itself, what is coming to points of growth? And what is acceptance? In of itself, life happens not to us, for us mainly, yet sometimes in and of itself you have points that come to being such a challenge that you, in of itself, allow yourself to be so willing to see the bad, or in a simple way of saying, to label it as being bad. Yet, even though nothing is really bad and nothing in it is inherently good, well, actually, it's all in it. Yeah, it's not good, it's inherently loving, which can come off as good, yet it's not good or bad. It is what it is. In and of itself, though, we have what we would like to say is the terms of endearment, in a sense. What growth point and work did you put in to the payout, right? Yet in and of itself, it's not really about the payout. It's about what is your intent in that of getting to being acceptance, and how much work you put into doing that. Acceptance is already saying thank you before it's done, in a sense of saying. And yet, acceptance is a point of growth. It's kind of like, if the fork in the road and you go down the right path because they're all the right path, you just have to accept that you're divinely loved, and going forth is going to be easy and prosperitized in and of yourself, in and of itself, for itself and by itself. For you, my friend, for you are beautiful, and all right reconciliation of itself is something that is just a work of art. And work of art is never truly done being molded. It can be admired at every stage, and sometimes it's so admired that some cannot bring themselves to saying that it, as being willing to add more to it. And yet some would call that being complete. Yet I say, in a sense of saying, it's a level of acceptance, and we call that, and some call that completion. Yet it's a level of acceptance to a full degree of just unconditional love. Yet we don't really, it's not really thought of as unconditional love when you're completed something, in a sense, and yet it is. Because you're accepting it for what it is. You're not judging it at that point. You're not, adding to it. It is what it is. And so, when it comes to acceptance and coming to the point of growth, and what is acceptance is something that really is defined by how much work you have put into, self-empowerment, empowerment of self in and of itself. And yet, for itself, life happens when you accept it. Well, not necessarily yet. It does help. And yet, if you fully go into it with expectations, then did you really accept it? And are you really coming to a point of growth, or are you coming to a point of stagnation, which is still in of itself leading you to coming to a point of growth? And in a sense, acceptance of what is going on. In a therapeutic sense, coping is acceptance. That it's out of your control. Coping is, in a sense, saying it's out of your control. And what can you do about it is regulate yourself, Yet, it comes to a point where, like I said, completion is a level of acceptance. Yet, acceptance is not a level of completion. No. Yeah. I don't know. Anywho, in of itself, you have a moment in time where you are always accepting something on the terms of what you agreed to before you do anything. To say simply. And another way of saying accepting is measuring up to what is a gift that you have been given. Counting your blessings, but before you counted your blessings, or after you were in, it's a level of fact. It's never really an opinion. It's a fact. Now, I'm not saying that when somebody is explaining something, it's not their opinion, because it is that is an opinion. Yeah, sometimes it could be facts, though. Facts from their dimensional plane of existence. Yeah, it comes off in society terms of communication, of a commonality, to say simply, it's acceptable. Yeah, in and of itself, one can say that accepting things is a beautiful aspect of life. Because, you really gotta be careful what you ask for, right? Because you might just get it. And then, some way, shape, or form, you get to live with it. And you're living with it. And you're going, and it's with you, and you're going with it. In a simple way of saying. Yet, life happens to those that are living, breathing, and accepting a level of what they can control. You know, that's who is successful. And it's not that they're truly happy, because money and success, you know, definitely money doesn't make you happy. You know, nothing makes you happy. You are willing to be happy because of whatever acceptability, you know, and the point of what you are coming to points of growth. You in and of itself ignoring or ignorant to the fact, you know, to simply to say is not always like you're not ignoring it, because that's what ignorance is ignorance, right? It's ignorance. So in and of itself, we have, you know, the ability to accept things or the ability to accept that we're not accepting things. Because you're always doing something in and of itself. You're always focusing on something. You're always, like I said, you're always accepting something. You know, especially if you're a witness, you're definitely accepting. You know, you showed up, you know, you did that part, you know, you got yourself there, you know, and then you became automatically became a witness, because you're just seeing what's going on and gathering that intel, we could say simply, in and of itself, right? Yet the point of life is to, come to terms. Like I said earlier, it's about terms too, acceptance and stuff as such. Yet we can say that coming to terms and accepting is seeing the path of your journey, of your growth upon what is coming to points of growth, to have then be growing, to then having grown, accepting that you're only going to be so equivalent to what is your height. In and of itself, accepting is the completion of the contract, in a sense. Acceptance is the determination, the vitality of getting it accomplished and moving on to the next thing. It's nevertheless of what apocalypse is happening, the lifting of a veil. Lifting of a veil. Is the end marking the beginning. A level of acceptance has to occur in order for one to move on. Like I said, either you have accepted it fully, or you have accepted that you're not going to accept it. I'm just saying. Yet, let's go ahead and go forth into the next stage of, the discussion, which is breathing. So, let's breathe in. Let's breathe out. Let's breathe in. Let's breathe out. Let's breathe in and hold it. Let's breathe out and hold it. Let's breathe in and hold it. Let's breathe out and hold it. And another way of saying it's acceptance is finding the willpower to go ahead and get up and go and still live life as if it never happened. Not that you forget, just giving yourself the ability, the room to, in a sense, cope, yet in more of a sense to accept and come to terms with, in a sense, the ending of that contract. And, we could say that their transition, if they transitioned onto the next plane of existence, it could be anything, a part of ourselves that is growing in acceptance of the aged parts that go forth and, are living life in a sense of itself. Yet, let's see what we can look up and see these, etymology of some things and piece it together a little bit further. Okay, everyone. I'll see you soon. The easiest way of saying coming to points of growth, what is appreciating, I think this reading thing is very challenging. Yet, what I want to say is getting off the high horse, simply to say, sometimes it's more beneficial to just get off that high horse, let somebody else get on their high horse, and then when it comes down to it, you go and get on the higher high horse, and you take the higher road. The only way you can do that is if you get off and go forth and accomplish your daily goals and divine intermittence into the world of the next. To say something. In and of itself, we have what? In itself. And saying it's what? In itself. To do its thing. Just breaking up the monotony, in a sense, to say, yet, let's see what type of interface we can establish when we look up, I attempted to look up getting off the high horse, and, No, this is what I found. High horse as a noun. And then I say it's a high horse. Noun, originally late 14th century. Fine, tall horse. War, horse. Charger. High steed is from 13th century. Also likely high hill, hill, Hall. Used in the sense status symbol. Used in the status symbol, figurative sense of heirs. AIRS, heirs. Easily wounded dignity in mount one's high horse. Oh, there it is. That's gotta be what that is. Affected aspect, airs of superiority is from 1782. Addition has to ride the great horse in the same sense, 1716. Compare French montor, sur, cease, grounds, Charaxer. I don't know. This smile is common to most languages. The smile is common to most languages. Former. Farmer. Here we go. Of such sound, pitch, 14th century, of roads, most frequented or important, 12th century, high road in the figurative sense from 1793, meaning euphoric or exhilarated from alcohol, is first associated 1620s, of drugs, 1932, sense of proud, gaiety, argument, superstitious, 12th century, is reflected in high-handed or high horse, of an evil or punishment, grave, serious, server, as high treason, century 12. Old English had HEAHSYNN, deadly sin, crime. High school for advanced studies, associated from the late 15th century in Scotland. Wow! What? Wow! What? Just wow! By 1824 in U.S. high school, high time, fully time, the fullness of time, is from late 14th century. High noon is when the sun is at the meridian is from early 14th century. The sense is full, total, complete, high finance. 1884 is that concerned with large sums. High tea, 1831, is one of which hot meal meats are served. High water mark is what is left by a flood or highest tide, 1550s. Figurative use by 1814. High and mighty is 12th century. Exalted and powerful, formerly a compliment to princesses, etc. High and dry of beach times, especially ships, is from 1783. Wow. Well, there we go. Overall, here we go. In itself and in it way. In itself, and there we go. Hey, today. So, thank you for making the time to be here with me. And now, we go forth on to the next kind of style of living. Just saying, thank you. I can be the meaning of life. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. This is what I get from the meaning of life. Yes. Yes. I'm a soul. Yes. I'm the one that brings a meaning to my life, and it's in myself. I can be like, I can do this. This is what I wanna be like. It's my mind. It's my mind. Here we going. Here we being. Just to seeing the meaning of life. Life bringer to you. Me. We all are the bringing to the meaning of the life we live. Yes, baby, it can be what you want it to all be, and it be like a bunch of what you gonna have. Yes, yesterday, and think you very yet in and of itself, to say simply, my friends, that there are a bit like two things I could say about the meaning of life that's different for everyone, and everyone is the one that brings the meaning to their life, because life is just life. Simply to say, nothing's good or bad. That concept is so aged. It's time to move forth and see that it is just what it is, and you're the one that brings meaning to your life. Simply to say, my friend. Yeah, anywho, thank you very much for making the time today and being, well, you and who you are, because you are divinely loved, always and forever. Thank you very much for making the time and being on Divine Time with Craig B. Smiling. Aloha, my friends. Until next time. Whoa. Aloha. Well, my friends, actually, I'll see you the next now. Thank you very much for being you. Aloha.